My beloved child. There is a moment unfolding around you right now that feels quiet on the surface, yet powerful beneath it. You may not see it yet, but something meaningful has already shifted. A door that once felt sealed has begun to open, not loudly, not suddenly, but with intention. This is not coincidence. This is timing aligning in your favor. You've been through chapters where connection felt close but never complete. You gave energy, patience, and hope, only to wonder if real commitment was meant for you at all. I want you to breathe for a second and truly listen, because this message is not random, and it did not arrive too early or too late. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Right now, someone is standing at the edge of a decision that involves you. This person is not driven by impulse or fantasy. They are grounded, thoughtful, and aware of what a real relationship requires. They are not looking to play games or chase attention. They are looking for depth. And without realizing it, their thoughts keep returning to you. You may be asking yourself, why me? It's because of the way you love when no one is watching. It's because you learned how to stand on your own without closing your heart. It's because you grew through silence, not applause. These are the qualities that last. And these are the qualities someone has noticed, even if they haven't spoken yet. There is a reason this connection hasn't rushed forward. It needed space to mature. It needed clarity. It needed both of you to become ready, not perfect, but honest. And now, that readiness is beginning to meet. This is not about being chosen out of convenience. This is about being chosen with intention. Pay attention to the subtle signs around you. A name crossing your mind for no clear reason. A sudden memory that feels warm instead of heavy. A feeling that says, this time is different, even when logic hasn't caught up yet. These are not accidents. They are signals that alignment is happening quietly. But here is the part most people miss, and this is important. This relationship doesn't begin with a dramatic confession or a grand gesture. It begins with recognition. A moment when two people see each other clearly, without pretending, without masks. That moment is closer than you think. You don't need to chase this. You don't need to force a conversation or change who you are. What's unfolding is responding to your authenticity, not your effort. The more you stay true to yourself, the clearer the path becomes. Trust this process, even if it feels slow. Especially if it feels slow. Someone is preparing their heart, not just their words. They are asking themselves serious questions. They are imagining stability, shared growth, and emotional safety. And when they think of those things, your presence fits naturally into the picture. That is not a small thing. Stay with this message. Don't skip ahead in your mind. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a promise made in haste, but as a connection built to last. This is only the beginning, and the next part will reveal what makes this bond different from anything you've known before. There is a quiet truth forming behind the scenes that you haven't been told yet. While your days move forward like normal, something meaningful is being rearranged in ways you cannot see. This isn't about chance meetings or empty promises. This is about a person who has reached a moment of clarity, and you are at the center of it. Don't skip this part, because what you're about to hear explains why everything before now unfolded exactly the way it did. This person has tried other paths. They've seen what surface-level connection feels like, and it left them wanting something deeper, something real. What surprised them is how often your presence lingered in their thoughts when everything else faded. Not in a dramatic way. In a steady, undeniable way that felt safe and honest. They noticed how you listen instead of waiting to speak. How you care without demanding control. How your energy feels calm, not chaotic. These are not loud qualities, but they are rare. And rare things are not overlooked by those who are truly ready. Here's the part that may catch you off guard. This person isn't drawn to who you could become. They are drawn to who you already are. Your consistency. Your emotional maturity. Your ability to hold space without losing yourself. That recognition is powerful, and it doesn't happen often. You may have wondered why connections in your past felt almost right but never complete. Why timing always seemed off by just enough to disappoint you. It's because those chapters were teaching you discernment, not punishment. They were preparing you to recognize something real when it arrived. And now, it is arriving, not loudly, not all at once, but with intention. This person is taking their time because they respect what a real relationship requires. They don't want to enter your life carelessly. They are choosing to approach with honesty, not excitement alone. That's why the energy feels different. That's why it doesn't feel rushed or forced. Stay till the end of this message, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. Real connection doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It reveals itself through peace, through mutual respect, through a feeling that says, I can be myself here. You don't need to question whether this is real by searching for signs everywhere. The biggest sign is how calm your heart feels when you imagine being truly seen. That calm isn't emptiness, it's alignment. There will be a moment soon when communication shifts. A conversation that feels natural but carries weight. A glance, a message, a shared silence that says more than words ever could. That moment is not random. It's the result of two people finally standing in the same emotional space. And here's what matters most. You are not being asked to change, chase, or prove your worth. You are being met where you are. That is what makes this different from anything you've experienced before. Don't rush ahead in your thoughts. Don't second-guess the timing. Trust what is unfolding quietly. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a fantasy, but as a grounded, real connection that grows stronger with time. The next part will reveal what must happen within you now, so this connection can step forward fully. Without fear, without hesitation, and without repeating old patterns. Stay with this. Before anything changes on the outside, something important must shift within you. This is the part most people rush past, but you were never meant to. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you right here, in the quiet space where clarity begins. What's approaching your life isn't fragile, and it isn't confused, but it does respond to the energy you hold right now. You've spent a long time learning how to be strong on your own. You learned how to stand tall without leaning on anyone. That strength protected you, but now it's being asked to soften, not disappear, soften. There is a difference, and this difference is what allows real connection to enter without resistance. The person moving toward you senses this shift before it even happens. They feel when you stop bracing for disappointment. They notice when your heart is open but not desperate, grounded but still hopeful. This balance is rare, and it is magnetic. Here is a truth that may surprise you. The delay you experienced was not because you weren't ready to be loved. It was because you were learning how to receive love without fear. Receiving is harder than giving, especially when you've had to protect yourself for so long. Pay attention to your inner dialogue lately. Have you noticed how it's becoming quieter? How old questions no longer demand answers the way they used to? That calm isn't emptiness. It's preparation. It's the space where something real can finally land. This next connection doesn't ask you to shrink or perform. It doesn't need you to prove anything. It meets you at eye level and says, "I see you exactly as you are." That kind of recognition changes everything, and it begins by allowing yourself to believe you are worthy of it. Stay with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. Love that lasts does not arrive through force or urgency. It arrives when resistance ends and trust begins. And trust doesn't mean certainty, it means openness. You may soon feel an urge to let go of an old habit, an old expectation, or an old story you've been carrying about how love works. When that feeling comes, don't ignore it. That release is not loss. It's alignment. The person meant to walk beside you cannot step fully into your life until there is room for them to stand. And that room is being created right now, moment by moment, through your willingness to believe that this time can be different. Don't rush ahead. Don't analyze every sign. Let the unfolding happen naturally. Something huge is waiting for you, not in the future, not somewhere far away, but in the present moment where readiness and possibility finally meet. The next part will reveal how this connection begins to show itself in the real world, in ways that feel subtle at first, yet impossible to ignore once they start. Stay close to this feeling. What comes next won't arrive the way you expect, and that is what makes it unmistakable. The shift begins quietly, almost gently, as if life is testing whether you're truly ready to notice it. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in the smallest details you might usually overlook. You'll start to sense a change in how conversations feel. Words will land differently. Silences will feel comfortable instead of awkward. There will be moments where you feel understood without needing to explain yourself. These are not coincidences. They are signals that something real is stepping closer. The person connected to this moment won't rush you. They won't overwhelm you with promises or pressure. Instead, they'll show consistency, presence, a steady interest that doesn't fade when things slow down. That steadiness is rare, and it's meant to feel unfamiliar if you've only known intensity before. Here is something that may surprise you. When this connection begins to reveal itself, it may feel almost ordinary at first. And that ordinariness is the sign. Real relationships don't need chaos to feel alive. They grow through trust, through mutual respect, through a sense of ease that feels like home. Pay attention to how your body responds. Not with tension, not with anxiety, but with calm. A calm that says, I don't have to guard myself here. That feeling is your inner compass aligning with something genuine. You may notice that you're no longer trying to impress. You're simply present. And in that presence, something powerful happens. The person stepping into your life sees you clearly, and chooses you without hesitation. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Stay with this moment. Don't rush to define it or label it. Let it unfold at its own pace. Something huge is waiting for you in the space where patience meets intention. There will be a point where you realize you're no longer carrying the weight of past disappointments. They loosen their grip without effort. You don't force healing. It happens naturally, simply because something better has arrived. This is how real connection announces itself. Not with noise, but with peace. Not with urgency, but with certainty. And once you feel it, you'll understand why everything else before this had to fall away. The next part will reveal the choice that changes everything, the quiet decision that turns this moment into the beginning of a lasting bond. Stay close. There is a decision forming right now that will quietly change the direction of your life. It won't feel dramatic when it happens. No loud announcement. No sudden rush. Just a clear inner knowing that something real is standing in front of you, waiting for your response. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you on the other side of a simple but powerful choice. This is where many people hesitate, not because they don't want love, but because they're afraid of trusting what feels calm. Chaos can feel familiar. Peace can feel unfamiliar. And yet, the connection moving toward you is built on peace, not uncertainty. You may feel a moment of pause inside yourself. A question that says, is this really safe? That question isn't fear, it's wisdom. And the answer will come not through overthinking, but through how this person continues to show up. Again. And again. Without disappearing. Without changing their energy. Here is the revelation most people never hear. The right relationship doesn't demand that you leap. It invites you to step forward at your own pace. And that invitation is being extended to you now. You won't need to explain your past. You won't need to justify your boundaries. They will be respected without argument. That respect is the foundation of something lasting, and it's one of the clearest signs you're in the right place. Stay present with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to recognize. The moment you choose openness over protection, everything shifts. Not overnight. Not magically. But steadily, in a way that feels real and sustainable. You may notice yourself responding differently than before. Less guarded. More honest. More willing to be seen. That's not weakness. That's readiness. And the person meant for you recognizes that strength immediately. This connection doesn't ask you to abandon who you are. It asks you to bring all of yourself, without apology. And in return, it meets you with consistency, care, and clarity. Don't rush to define the future. Let the present unfold. Trust what feels steady. Trust what grows without pressure. Something huge is waiting for you, not in a distant dream, but in a choice you're already prepared to make. The next part will reveal how this bond begins to deepen once that choice is made, and why this chapter has the power to last longer than anything you've known before. Stay close to this moment. Once that choice is made, the atmosphere around you begins to change in ways you can't ignore. It's subtle at first, almost like a new rhythm entering your life. You may feel lighter without knowing why. Conversations flow more naturally. Time spent together feels unforced, yet meaningful. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what happens next. This is where depth begins to replace uncertainty. You'll notice how trust starts forming without effort. Not because you forced it, but because consistency created it. The person stepping closer to you doesn't disappear when emotions deepen. They lean in. That alone sets this connection apart. Here is something that may surprise you. Real intimacy doesn't arrive all at once. It builds quietly through small moments, shared laughter, honest pauses, and the comfort of being yourself without explanation. These moments may seem ordinary, but they are building something extraordinary. You may realize that you're no longer questioning their intentions. Their actions speak clearly. Their presence remains steady. That clarity brings a sense of safety that allows your heart to open further, without fear of being misunderstood. Stay present, because something huge is waiting for you to recognize. This bond grows not through intensity, but through reliability. Not through promises, but through follow-through. This is what creates something that lasts. You'll begin to see how this person supports your growth rather than competes with it. They celebrate your individuality. They respect your pace. They don't rush you into becoming something else. They want to walk beside you, not ahead of you. There may come a moment where you look back at your past and finally understand why things didn't work before. Not with regret, but with gratitude. Those chapters led you here, to a connection that feels aligned rather than confusing. Don't rush to label this. Let it deepen naturally. Trust the calm that surrounds it. Something huge is waiting for you, not in dramatic gestures, but in the steady unfolding of something real. The next part will reveal how this connection begins to anchor itself in your life, creating a sense of belonging that feels both new and familiar at the same time. Stay close. There comes a moment when you realize this connection is no longer just something you feel, but something that's becoming real. It arrives without announcement. One ordinary day, you notice how naturally this person fits into your life. How their presence doesn't disrupt your world, it enhances it. Don't skip this realization. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what this moment reveals. This is where the bond begins to anchor itself. Plans are no longer vague. Intentions feel clearer. You sense a quiet commitment forming, not spoken in dramatic words, but shown through consistency and care. That kind of clarity is rare, and it's meant to be noticed. Here is the surprising truth most people never experience. When the right person enters your life, you don't feel the need to hold back or perform. You feel safe enough to be fully seen. And in that safety, something powerful happens. You begin to show up as your truest self. You may catch yourself imagining a future without fear. Not as a fantasy, but as a possibility that feels grounded and achievable. That shift in thinking is not accidental. It's a sign that your heart recognizes stability when it finally arrives. Stay with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. This connection doesn't drain you. It strengthens you. It doesn't confuse you. It brings clarity. And that clarity allows love to grow without pressure. You'll notice how communication deepens. Conversations go beyond surface-level topics. You share thoughts you once kept guarded. And instead of pulling away, this person listens. They understand. They stay. There may be a moment when you realize you're no longer looking for reassurance. Their presence provides it naturally. That's when you know this bond is different from anything you've known before. Don't rush ahead. Let this chapter unfold fully. Something huge is waiting for you in the space where mutual effort meets mutual respect. The next part will reveal the final shift. The moment when this connection steps fully into its purpose and shows you why it arrived at this exact point in your life. Stay close to this feeling. Just when you think you understand what this connection means, it reveals its true depth. This is the moment where everything settles into place, not with noise, but with certainty. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what becomes clear now. You begin to realize that this relationship didn't arrive to fill a void. It arrived to walk beside you. There is a difference, and that difference changes how you love. You're no longer searching for validation. You're sharing life with someone who sees you as an equal. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that few people ever reach. The right connection doesn't make you lose yourself, it helps you return to who you truly are. With this person, you feel more like yourself than ever before. More honest. More present. More alive. You may notice how your fears soften without being forced away. Old doubts don't vanish overnight, but they lose their power. Trust grows naturally, built on shared experiences, not empty words. That is how something real takes root. Stay present with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to accept. This bond is not about perfection. It's about choosing each other daily, even in ordinary moments. Especially in ordinary moments. You'll feel a sense of belonging that doesn't restrict you. It expands you. You're encouraged to grow, to dream, to evolve. And instead of feeling threatened, this person stands with you, supporting every step forward. There may come a quiet moment where you understand why this connection arrived now and not before. You'll see how timing protected you, how patience shaped you, how everything aligned to bring you here when you were ready to recognize it. Don't rush past this feeling. Let it anchor itself in your heart. Something huge is waiting for you, Not as a promise of perfection, but as the beginning of a partnership built on truth, respect, and shared intention. The final part will reveal what this connection ultimately asks of you, and how embracing it fully allows this chapter to become the most meaningful one yet. Stay close. At this point, the meaning of everything you've experienced begins to rise to the surface. What once felt like waiting now feels like arrival. Not in a dramatic rush, but in a steady knowing that says, "This is real." Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what you are about to recognize. This connection is no longer just forming. It is choosing you back. And that choice changes how you see yourself. You realize you were never asking for too much, you were simply asking the wrong people. That realization alone is life-changing. Here is the revelation that shifts everything. The right relationship doesn't make you feel lucky to be chosen. It makes you feel confident in your worth. With this person, you are not proving anything. You are being appreciated for what you already bring. You may notice how your future suddenly feels clearer. Not rigid, not scripted, but hopeful in a grounded way. Plans don't feel overwhelming anymore. They feel possible. Shared. Supported. Stay present with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to accept fully. This bond is not here to repeat old cycles. It is here to end them. The confusion, the inconsistency, the emotional guessing, all of it fades when intention becomes mutual. You'll feel a new kind of security, one that doesn't depend on constant reassurance. It comes from trust built through time, honesty, and effort from both sides. That security allows love to deepen without fear. There may be a moment when you look at this person and understand, without words, that you're moving forward together. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. That choice carries weight. It carries meaning. Don't rush past this awareness. Let it settle. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a distant promise, but as a lived reality that continues to unfold each day. The final part will bring everything together and reveal what this connection ultimately means for the path ahead. Stay close to this feeling. Now everything becomes unmistakably clear. This is the moment when the journey you've been on finally reveals its purpose. Not as a surprise that overwhelms you, but as a truth that feels steady, earned, and real. Don't skip this final turn. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what you are about to understand. The connection you've been stepping into is not temporary. It wasn't sent to teach you a lesson and then disappear. It arrived to stay, to grow, to become a part of your life in a way that feels natural and strong. That is the difference you feel in your chest right now, the calm certainty that replaces doubt. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that changes everything. You were never behind. You were never late. Every pause, every quiet stretch, every moment of waiting shaped you into someone capable of recognizing real commitment when it finally arrived. With this person, love doesn't feel heavy. It feels supportive. You don't lose your independence, you share it. You don't feel controlled, you feel considered. That balance is rare, and it is exactly what makes this relationship real. Stay present with these words, because something huge is waiting for you to claim. This chapter is not about chasing happiness. It's about building it, slowly and intentionally, with someone who is just as invested as you are. You may notice how your heart no longer feels guarded. Not because you're careless, but because you finally feel safe. That safety allows love to deepen without fear, without doubt, without the need to constantly protect yourself. There will be moments ahead that test patience, but they will not test commitment. Growth will happen together, not apart. And that shared growth is what turns connection into partnership. Don't rush forward or look back. Stand right here in this understanding. Something huge is waiting for you. Not as a distant dream, but as a living, breathing reality that continues to unfold every day. This is the beginning of something real. After clarity settles in, a deeper awareness quietly takes hold. You begin to understand that this connection isn't just about companionship, it's about alignment. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in the way this awareness reshapes how you see love itself. This is where you notice the difference between wanting and choosing. Wanting can be loud and urgent. Choosing is calm and deliberate. And the person standing with you is choosing you, not because it's easy, but because it feels right. Here is the surprising truth few people ever realize. Real relationships don't remove challenges, they change how challenges are faced. You're no longer carrying things alone. There is shared responsibility, shared intention, shared strength. That shift alone changes everything. You may feel a quiet confidence growing inside you. Not excitement that fades, but assurance that remains. You trust the process now. You trust yourself. And you trust the connection that has proven itself through consistency rather than words. Stay present, because something huge is waiting for you to recognize. This bond didn't arrive to complete you. It arrived to complement you. Two whole people choosing to build something meaningful together. That is rare, and that is powerful. You'll notice how your expectations soften without lowering your standards. You no longer need perfection. You value honesty. You value effort. You value peace. And those values are reflected back to you in ways that feel grounding and real. There may be a moment when you realize you've stopped asking, "Where is this going?" Not because you don't care, but because you trust the direction. Trust like that doesn't come from hope, it comes from evidence. Don't rush past this understanding. Let it settle into who you are becoming. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a dramatic ending, but as a steady beginning that continues to grow stronger with time. The next part will reveal how this connection begins to shape the life you're building together, and why this chapter feels different from every one that came before. Stay close. Soon, you'll notice how this connection begins to shape the life unfolding around you. Not by taking over, not by demanding change, but by blending into your world in a way that feels intentional and steady. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in how this partnership starts influencing your everyday reality. You'll feel it in the way decisions are made now. Not rushed. Not forced. Shared. Even small choices begin to carry a sense of unity, as if you're no longer moving in separate directions but walking side by side towards something meaningful. Here is the revelation that feels almost unreal when it happens. The right relationship doesn't distract you from your purpose, it strengthens it. You become more focused, more confident, more grounded. Love stops being a question mark and starts becoming a foundation. You may notice how challenges feel different now. They don't isolate you. They don't overwhelm you. They invite conversation, understanding, and cooperation. That shift transforms obstacles into moments of growth rather than distance. Stay with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to recognize. This bond doesn't shrink your world. It expands it. You dream bigger, not because you're escaping reality, but because you feel supported within it. There will be moments of quiet joy that catch you off guard. Shared laughter over nothing special. Comfort in silence. A sense of belonging that doesn't need constant affirmation. These moments are powerful because they're real. You might realize that your past no longer defines how you approach the future. Old fears don't dictate your choices. Old wounds don't control your expectations. Healing happens naturally when consistency replaces uncertainty. Don't rush ahead or try to predict everything that comes next. Let the unfolding continue. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a dramatic climax, but as a life being built with intention, trust, and mutual care. The next part will reveal how this connection continues to deepen over time, and why its strength comes from what you grow together rather than what you avoid. Stay close to this feeling. There is a moment ahead when you realize this connection is no longer growing, it has become steady. It feels like standing on solid ground after a long journey. Not because everything is perfect, but because it's dependable. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what this stability reveals. You'll notice how trust stops being something you work on and starts being something you live in. There's no constant checking, no second guessing. You feel free to focus on what matters, knowing that what you've built together isn't fragile. Here is the surprising truth that few people experience. The strongest relationships don't feel intense all the time, they feel secure. And that security allows love to deepen in ways excitement alone never could. You may find yourself growing in areas you once struggled with. Not because you were pushed, but because you were supported. Encouragement replaces pressure. Understanding replaces assumption. That environment changes you, quietly but powerfully. Stay present with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to appreciate fully. This bond holds space for both joy and challenge without threatening its foundation. That balance is what makes it last. There will be moments when you catch yourself smiling at how natural everything feels. No pretending. No guarding. Just mutual effort flowing in both directions. Those moments are signs that you've stepped into something real. You might also notice how your definition of love has changed. It's no longer about proving devotion or fearing loss. It's about shared commitment, respect, and choosing each other even when things are simple and quiet. Don't rush ahead or assume this is the end of the journey. It's not. Something huge is waiting for you in the way this connection continues to grow stronger with time, experience, and intention. The next part will reveal how this stability becomes the foundation for a future that feels aligned, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Stay close to this truth.